A friendly word of advice. Test of Courage events tend to give rise to a variety of strange rumors and stories. So please, be sure to exercise caution.
What the? Oh my god!
How was that? Were you scared? Who goes there?
So, is there really a ghost around here? Why does Paimon have a feeling that it's staring right at us?
Are you talking to me?
Oh, there's an actual ghost.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
From this day forth, Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Dottore. Dottore! In that case, I'll take some time for myself now. Squall and Fury! You dare to gaze upon me?
Oh! Dare to mess with me? Too late for regrets! Have fun with this gift!
Scaramouche, the mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
What? What's that? Is that his heart? What's that? Are we getting another Arcot quest? I don't know. Oh my god. The code. The code. Wait, I'm gonna write it down in my notes. I wrote it down, okay. Is that a vision? What is that? Oh, it's Scaramouche, guys, chat. It's literally small Scaramouche. That's his legs. That's his legs. I was like, what is that?
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program. I'm your host, Sarah Miller-Cruz, the voice of Lumine in Genshin Impact. And today I'm joined by...
Max, the one and only middleman, voice of the one and only Arataki Ito.
And I'm Patrick Pedraza, voice of the Wanderer. But up until now, travelers have only known me as Scaramouche, and everyone's been battling me in the game lately.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, it's a really cool fight.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm super excited to have the chance to share some upcoming content with everyone. What did you all think about that trailer?
Okay, so I definitely saw Irminsul in there, and I am really excited to find out more about it.
Yeah, that trailer had everything. It had everything. It had action. It had drama. It was lighthearted in places, but it was dramatic.
Yeah.
It
Dude, I'm just super
different.
stoked for everyone to see Scaramouche's, backstory. I'm super excited about it, for real.
Heck yeah.
Well, speaking of that, following the story's development, Scaramouche is still in Nahida's custody. So I bet the question everyone's wanting to know is how he'll become the Wanderer.
Yeah, for sure. And there's quite a story behind that. If you're interested, then be sure to play through the Archon Quest Interlude chapter, Inversion of Genesis. There is so much to learn in this quest, so I hope everyone checks it out.
Oh, come on, man. You can't just leave everyone
Inversion of
hanging like that. How about
Genesis.
some hints? Come on, please. Pretty please.
All right. How can I
Yes.
say no to a cute chibi Ito?
You can't.
Here's a little preview from the quest.
We ran into to 2 people at the academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. From what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
By whom?
Pretty rad.
Wait, why are they talking about Tatarasuna?
I guess we'll have to see. It is interesting, though, to see the Traveler, Nahida, and Scaramouche all together so peacefully like that.
Yeah, but in this interlude chapter, Nahida will task the Traveler and Paimon with keeping an eye on Scaramouche while we go with him into Irminsul in search of some information.
Oh, interesting. So obviously Nahida must have some reason for deciding to keep Scaramouche around.
Oh yeah,
They're
totally.
babysitting.
And I'm liking Scaramouche's new style. Woo, dude's looking sharp.
Heck yeah, always. Nah, right. And at this point, he's known by a completely different name, the Wanderer. I love that name.
Okay, so I know I'm not the only one who's curious about what happened. I mean, it looks like he's really changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm afraid that's all we can show for now. Travelers will have to experience the story for themselves in-game. I mean, it's better to explore the storyline without too many spoilers, right?
True.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We're
Okay,
changing
we'll leave
him.
the rest for travelers to discover themselves. But the Wanderer is also going to be a new playable character in version 3.3, so let's talk about that. I'm sure many of our viewers are curious about his talents.
Heck yeah, sure thing. Let's have a look at the Wanderer in combat. There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence. The wind rises. Bow your head.
The cake.
All right, Patrick, you're up. Help introduce the Wanderer for us.
Sure thing. The Wanderer is a catalyst user and has an animo vision, so he uses wind blades to perform ranged normal
What was
attacks.
that last thing?
Wait a second, wind blades?
Not the same as the Traveler's wind blade, though.
Okay.
So, as everyone probably already noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air when he casts his elemental skill. Upon using his elemental skill, he will first deal AoE damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So, while hovering, the Wanderer's normal and charge attacks will be converted into Kugo, Fushudan, and Kugu Tofukai, respectively. The damage they
He's
deal
like
in
a
their
ruin
AoE
guy.
will be increased.
He's like
Their damage will be considered
No.
normal and charge attack damage, respectively. Also, Kugu Tofukai will not consume stamina, and he can remain hovering for a certain duration.
That's so awesome. He can fly.
I know, right? But he can't stay hovering forever. While hovering, the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku points to maintain his hovering state, which is the blue meter you see on the screen. Even if he doesn't move or attack, hovering will
He's
still consume
compensating
Kuguryoku
for
points.
his height.
Okay.
So this mechanic works a little differently than our typical stamina meter. There are many possible actions the Wanderer can perform while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than
Oh,
stamina.
his hat. Look, his
So,
hat is in
for
there.
example, sprinting mid-air will consume additional Kuguryoku points
Does he take
to
it off?
accelerate mid-air. And holding the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So
Interesting.
this effect will replace his default sprint. Jumping expends extra Kuguryoku points to increase hovering height. Holding jump will cause persistent Kuguryoku point consumption to
It
keep
goes
increasing
behind
hovering
him.
height.
Oh.
Of course, running out of points will end his hovering state.
Oh, okay. So travelers will need to plan their actions while hovering.
Exactly. So with his talent, Jade Claim Flower, when casting his elemental skill, if it contacts Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect depending on which element was contacted. So for example, increasing his Kuguryoku points cap, attack, crit rate, or restoring a set amount of energy upon hitting opponents with a normal or charged attack. the Wanderer can have up to 2 different kinds of these buffs simultaneously.
Ooh.
Oh, look, check that out. Part of the halo behind him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what effects the Wanderer currently has.
I like that. It's helpful and still looks really cool.
Yeah.
So after unlocking another talent, Gales of Reverie, when the Wanderer is in the hovering state, if his normal or charged attack hits an enemy, there is a set chance to gain another buff effect,
How many
allowing
buffs
him to
does he
sprint
have?
midair without consuming Kuguryoku points. Additionally,
DPS
this buff
Catalyst
effect will
cousin.
fire wind arrows
No.
to attack the enemy.
Ooh.
Oh, dope.
So
I'm
they
sure
listed
extra buff
like at
effects
least
that will go a
5,
long way
right?
for
Buff
players
after
when they're in
buff,
combat.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
I saw that.
That's pretty cool. I love all the detail they put into the Wanderer.
All right, this brings us to the Wanderer's Elemental Burst.
Yay!
So, check this out. Upon unleashing his burst, he compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy.
He's literally kicking people.
Travelers should note that if the Wanderer is in a hovering state when he unleashes his burst, then the hovering state will end and he will begin descending after the burst is completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little aggressive.
Yeah, but it's cool.
I know, and it actually suits his character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Wait. Let's not forget about the exploration talent.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The Wanderer can decrease the mora required when ascending bows and catalysts.
Hey,
Oh,
now,
like
you can never complain
Raiden
about
has it
saving
for
more, huh?
polearms and
Am I right?
swords, right?
Okay, that's true. All right, now that we've seen the Wanderer, let's move on to the next new character. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yay!
What did you say? Oh, I'm old now.
It's Hatsune
so
Miku.
every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam Farozan, and I'll see if I can pick that up. Huh? What is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental monuments?
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a plug for Yae Publishing House.
Maybe. But anyway, that's the legend on how Genius Invocation TCG came to be. Though it's probably just a story they came up with for marketing the game.
So while you were telling us about the story, I was over here researching the rules to the game. Basically, Genius Invocation TCG is a game where you use a constructed deck of cards to duel against an opponent. The objective is to defeat all of your opponent's
Look at
character
the
cards.
That's right.
Also, there are many features and mechanics in the game that resonate with Genshin Impact's gameplay, so it shouldn't be too hard for players to get the hang of.
Right, I even saw some elemental reactions in the gameplay.
Yup, a constructed deck must contain character cards. And as you might expect, these character cards have
that
a normal
Magu
attack,
kinky?
an elemental skill, and an elemental burst. So when a character card deals elemental damage to an enemy, it will cause them to be affected by that element. Then, you can switch to a character card of a different
was
element
that
and
Senora?
use their abilities to trigger an elemental
Damn.
reaction.
Wait, did you guys notice that there are even monster character cards?
Oh,
Can we even make a deck of,
delicious.
like, just the monsters from the game?
You're really getting into this, Max.
Heck yeah, I am! I like card games!
Who doesn't?
So in Genius Invocation TCG, all actions require you to spend elemental dice. Each round, both you and your opponent will roll 8 elemental dice. Each of these elemental dice can have any one of 8 elemental attributes.
Hold on, but there's only 7 elements in the world of Teyvat.
You're right. So in addition to the 7 standard elements, there's also one called the Omni element. The elemental dice required for a character card to perform an action correspond to the character's element. So, for example, a Pyro character like D-Luke needs either Pyro or Omni elemental dice to perform an action. Clear now?
Yep, crystal clear.
8
Also, elemental dice can be used to switch characters or play a variety of other cards,
Yeah,
such
it's like
as
the
equipment
Joker
cards,
element.
event cards, and support cards. All these cards create the potential for a variety of strategies.
Right. While playing Genius Invocation TCG, travelers can earn player experience, which will increase your player level. As your level increases, you'll be able to challenge more characters and NPCs. By completing challenges, you may earn lucky coins, new cards, or other rewards. Lucky coins can be exchanged in the event shop for cards, or can even unlock dynamic skins for certain cards.
Dynamic skins? Those are cards that have moving illustrations, right?
That's right.
Whoa.
All character cards can unlock a dynamic skin. After unlocking that, there'll even be a cool bonus animation whenever you cast that character's elemental burst.
Cool.
And if you're confident in your TCG skills, you can also invite a friend to duel. After reaching a high enough player level, you'll even unlock a matchmaking mode. So be sure to give it a try.
Travelers should note that playing against your friends or other travelers won't count towards any leaderboards or provide any rewards. So you can relax. It's all just for fun. Okay, that's everything we have for Genius Invocation TCG, and that brings us to the end of today's special program.
Oh.
So, what did you think?
Why does it have to be over? There's so much that this version has to offer.
Yeah, I can't even take it all in right now. I'm just super stoked to be part of this. I think I just gained some Kuguryoku points just doing this whole thing, so.
Man, the new characters look cool.
I know, what about Scaramouche hovering?
Yeah, it's over.
Like, that's insane.
I know, that's awesome.
That's super dope.
That's awesome. And I cannot
Yes,
wait
Citrus, you have to finish
play
it. Yep.
in some of these events and mini games. I'm super excited. This was so fun. I'm really glad that we got to do the special program together.
I'm so happy I got to come back for another special program. This is my 3rd time being on one of these, and I can't wait for number 4. I'm counting.
I'm so happy. This is my first one, so thank you for having me.
Yay!
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes.
Doesn't
I
it feel good to
honored
feel
be here.
special?
Seriously, I'm
Do
just
you
like-
feel special?
I really do. Thank you.
Well, I think this is the end of our special program. So I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll see you in game. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.